Viewer on the screen. This picture is in your textbook. It shows the different layers of the Earth's atmosphere. So which are the layers of the Earth atmosphere? We have to see that today. Now, can you see this blue line? This is the surface of the Earth. This blue line is the surface of the Earth. Now, we are living on the surface of the Earth. Okay, and the entire thing is the atmosphere. But which is the first layer in the atmosphere? The first layer in your atmosphere is your troposphere. So we are living in the troposphere. Now this troposphere is from the surface of the Earth till here, till the white line you can see. Yeah. Now this is the first layer of the Earth, troposphere. What all things are there in the troposphere? Now see, this till here is your troposphere. So in the higher part of the troposphere, you can see the cloud formation and the aeroplanes flying. Okay. Now, as you go up, after troposphere, as you go up in the atmosphere, you will see stratosphere, the second layer of the Earth's atmosphere. Stratosphere. Third layer is your mesosphere. Fourth layer is your ionosphere. And the next layer is your exosphere. Again, I'll repeat which are the different layers. We are living over here on the surface of the Earth. So we are in the troposphere. And in the higher part of the troposphere itself, you can see the aeroplanes and the clouds formation. Even rain, fog, smoke, everything will be in the troposphere. The second layer, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere, and exosphere. Now, what comes in the ionosphere? Rockets will fly in that layer of ionosphere. Ionosphere, rockets will fly. What happens in the exosphere? You can see the sun, the moon, the stars, the satellite, that is your space. That means exosphere. That is the last layer of the atmosphere. Now look here, come down, and you can see the second layer is the stratosphere. The stratosphere starts from here. See this white line till this white line. This is the extension of the stratosphere. Now in the lower layer of the stratosphere, you can see ozone layer. That means what? Ozone gas is present in the ozone layer. Now what is the importance of this ozone layer? We will see ahead. So according to this picture, you know now the different layers in the atmosphere. Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere, and exosphere. And in the lower layer of stratosphere, you have the ozone layer. Here you can see again, same thing, the different layers. Troposphere, tropopause, stratosphere, stratopause, mesosphere, mesopause. Here you can see the distance from the surface of the Earth. What is the distance of the troposphere? 15 kilometers. Of the stratosphere, what is the distance? 50 kilometers, 50. And what the distance of the mesosphere is 80 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. Now let us see the different layers again so that you remember it, and please read the spelling also. So the different layers of the Earth atmosphere are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere, and exosphere. And as I told you, in the lower layer of stratosphere, you have the ozone layer. So this is how your atmosphere layers are. What is the distance of troposphere from the Earth's surface? 13 kilometers. Distance of stratosphere? 50 kilometers. and it will increase as we go high up. Now let us see the first layer, that is the troposphere. What happens in the troposphere? As I told you, we live. But what happens in the troposphere at the higher part? What is the formation? Which same processes go on in the troposphere? Water vapor, that is evaporation takes place. Cloud formation, clouds are there. Rainfall, fog, that is smoky thing you can see here, that is fog. Wind also is there in the troposphere. And storm also takes place only in the troposphere. So which are the things in the troposphere? Formation of water vapor, clouds, rain, fog, wind, storm. Let's move ahead. Now look here, another thing in the troposphere, the aeroplanes fly. But in which part of the troposphere the aeroplanes fly? They fly in the higher part of the troposphere. But when the aeroplanes will fly in the higher part of the troposphere, the oxygen is less over there in the air because air becomes thinner when you go at the height. When you at the high altitudes, air becomes thinner. Oxygen carrying capacity is less. So in the troposphere, in the higher part, if the aeroplane will fly, the people should get proper breathing. The people should be able to breathe properly. And for that, arrangements have to be made to ensure that passengers, the people who are traveling in the plane, passengers, get enough air for breathing. They should breathe easily. Now, as I was telling you that when we will study about stratosphere, I will tell you about the ozone layer also. So let us study the second layer of the Earth's atmosphere. We saw the first layer, troposphere. Now let us see stratosphere. What is the height of the stratosphere from the surface of the Earth? See, this is the Earth. What is the height from the surface of the Earth of the stratosphere? 50 kilometers. Okay, from the Earth. It is the layer of stratosphere. Now, as I told you, in the lower layer of stratosphere, you have the ozone layer. Which layer is there? Ozone layer. And in that layer, what is present? Ozone gas. A layer of gas called ozone. The name of the gas is called ozone. Now, what happens? What does this ozone layer protects us from? See the picture over here, this picture. Now see, the rays of the sun are falling on the earth. This is the ozone layer. You can see here the name ozone layer. Now the rays of the sun, when they are falling on the earth, the rays of the sun does not reach, all the rays of the sun does not reach the earth. What happens to some of the rays? Can you see this arrow bouncing back? Yes, the ozone layer protects us from these ultraviolet radiations. That is UV rays, ultraviolet rays. Now, what are these ultraviolet rays? They are very harmful for the living beings. If the ultraviolet radiation reaches the earth, then the people may get skin disease or skin cancer. And that's why, what is the duty, or we can say, what does this ozone layer does? It absorbs, it bounces back. Can you see this arrow? That means the harmful rays of the sun are bounced back into the atmosphere. They are not reaching the earth's surface. They are not reaching till us. These ozone layer UV rays which are there, ultraviolet radiations, are bounced back, reflected back in the atmosphere. So it is very important. We can say ozone layer is a security guard. It guards us from the ultraviolet radiations. And where this ozone layer is situated? Lower layer of stratosphere. Now look at this picture. Look at the second picture. This is a coil here, radiation. Now what happens when you heat or boil water? After boiling, what happens? That boiling water is converted into steam. Steam means what? Water vapor. It is converted into water vapor. Where does this water vapor go when it is heated? Because it is lighter in weight, it will go up in the air. Now you know what is this process called? When the water gets heated and then it converted into water vapor. This process is called evaporation. Okay. Same thing takes place in the atmosphere also. You can see over here. This is the land surface. You can see the water. Now, because of the rays of the sun, the water on the surface gets heated up. This water turns into water vapor. Once this water turns into water vapor, then it will go up, it will rise up in the air. Once it is risen up in the air, then what happens? Let's see ahead. Yes, you can see over here. In this, you can see that, as I told you, this is the surface water or ground water flow. See the flow of water into the rivers, oceans. What happens to this water? Because of the rays of the sun, the water gets heated up. And once this water gets heated up, it turns into water vapor. After turning into water vapor, heating of water turning into water vapor is called evaporation. Okay. Now after evaporation, where the steam will go? It becomes lighter. It becomes lighter in weight. Where it will go? It will rise up in the sky. Now when it is rising up in the sky, which is the second process? Transportation. It is being transported. The water vapor, that is evaporation, has taken place. This water vapor has gone up and transportation has taken place. Now, what happens after transportation? What happens to those water droplets which are there up? Water vapor has, it's gone up. What will happen there? This water vapor will cool down again. Why? It has risen up. And at higher altitudes, the air is cool. So when this water vapor rises up, it cools down. It forms droplets of water and then they form clouds. These droplets of water freeze and they form clouds. Okay. Some droplets will freeze and some will form clouds. It is there in the clouds itself. So when this formation is there, formation of the clouds, that process is called condensation. How this condensation takes place, how the clouds are formed? Because of the water droplets. Now, look at my screen. Boys, look at my screen. Imagine this is your cloud. Before going towards the cloud, I have to tell you something. Imagine this is your bag. Now, if I will put something in the bag, this bag is having a capacity to hold. Now, after some time, what will happen? If I will keep on putting the things, the bag will tear off because the capacity of holding is major. We can say it is out of it. It cannot be more, and then it will tear off. Example, if you keep on putting rice, you keep on putting wheat in that, keep on doing it. At one particular moment, it will overflow or it will tear off. So same thing happens over here. Back to the screen now. You can see here, as I told you, condensation takes place, formation of clouds. Now clouds cannot hold the water droplets because now they are becoming heavy and they are collected together. What will happen to those water droplets? Because the clouds cannot hold it, it will fall down on the surface of the earth. That means what? it will fall down in the form of rain. And this is how rainfall occurs. So when these clouds fall down, the water from the clouds fall down in the form of rain, that process is called precipitation. And again, after precipitation, water falls on the surface. Again, it is water. Again, it will be heated up. Evaporation will take place. Condensation will take place. And again, precipitation. So let us see, once again, I'll repeat. This is known as the water cycle. It is a cycle, continuous cycle. So water in the seas and the oceans gets heated up. That water vapor will rise up. Okay, it turns into water vapor. What is that process called? When water gets heated and converts into water vapor, it is known as evaporation. Now what happens after evaporation? The water vapor is rising up. That is transportation. Now this water vapor cools down and form what? Clouds. So formation of clouds, condensation, evaporation, transportation, condensation. After that, what will happen? Clouds cannot have that much capacity to hold the water droplets as they are becoming heavy. Means what? Next process will be there. Rainfall. That means what? Precipitation. So after the precipitation, the water falls down. Again, evaporation. So this cycle is continuous. Now let us see what all things are there in the biosphere. As I told you in the previous session also, biosphere will consist of all the three spheres. So let us see what all things are there in the biosphere. Various regions on the earth. Which are the regions? Different regions on the earth. They differ in many ways. All this will consist of a biosphere. Ice. Where? Which region? Ice, where it falls. Hot climate. Mountainous region. Plains. Rainfall. And desert. So these are the different regions which are there. Then what else can be there in the biosphere? See what you saw in the previous slide. These regions, that is lithosphere, land. Can you see this land? These are different lands. That means lithosphere. Okay. Now let us see. From the hydrosphere, you can see here water. Everything is in biosphere. The sea, ocean, fresh water in the biosphere. Anything else? Yes. There are different type of birds and animals are also there in the biosphere. And there is a great variety in living things. You can see the polar bear, the picture of a polar bear here. The polar bear is seen in the snow-bound polar regions. What do you mean by snow-bound? The regions where snow falls, that is snow-bound. And you can see the polar bear in the polar regions. In the continent of Africa, you can see zebras. The speciality of the continent of Africa are the zebras. You can see zebras over there. And the smallest continent, Australia, is famous for kangaroos. And you can see elephants and lions in the hot climate region. Hot climate, or we can say desert region, or we can say where hot climate is there. The climate is hot. So the animals found in the hot climate region are elephants and lions. Similarly, we can see the animals, plants, and you can see animals, plants, and microorganisms are there in the biosphere. So entire thing what we studied is your biosphere.